Okay, it is 5:06 p.m., Monday, April the 15th, 2024. The BEDC Board reserves the right to reconvene, recess, or realign the regular session, or call executive session or order of business at any time prior to the adjournment. I'm calling this meeting to order. Number 2 on public comments. Do we have any public comments today, this evening?
No, sir, we do not.
Okay, very good. Well, we're going to go into 3 regular business presentations. We're going to change a few things, and when I get to that point, I'll let y'all know what we're going to change or rearrange. So, very first is 3A, approval of meeting minutes from the regular BEDC board meeting of March 18th, 2024, and the joint meeting of March 26th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
It's been seconded. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Good. The motion carries. All right. This is one of these times. We're going to be actually moving up to 3C before we get to 3B. So this is the consider and act on a possible budget amendment to the BEDC fiscal year 2024 budget.
Board, in front of you, you have the budget amendment number 1, which is the decrease in revenue. This budget amendment reduces the sales tax revenue by 3/8 of 1 cent, as voted on by the citizens. This change took effective April 1st, so we reduced it for 6 months of the year.
Oh, sorry.
Budget amendment number 2. This is going to be the decrease in expenses in each of these categories. Many of these decreases are directly correlated with the reduction of staff. We also have contractual services that decreased in the amount of $330,000 for Blakey, and the amount of the South to Lovers Lane project in the amount of $2.95 million. We also had capital outlay was reduced by $2 million for removal of the business park technology improvements, but we added $1.23 million for Accutronic to make it site ready or shovel ready. This was a net decrease of approximately $770,000. The other larger number was marketing and advertising. This was a decrease in special project and business retention by $200,000 and a decrease in $130,000 for special education and workforce to more closely reflect the expenses that will be incurred over the fiscal year. The difference is going to be just decreases directly correlated to a reduction in staff. So those are our 2 budget amendments.
Chair, we gave every board member a large spreadsheet that is the itemized detail. At the bottom of that slide, it says see itemized detail in the posted agenda packet. This is just a larger version of what's in the agenda packet. We thought it was important to have the budget amendment heard first, because when we go through the financial report, we show the original budget and the amended budget, and then we correlate the sales tax receipts, and so you can have a clearer understanding of where the board sits in financial position.
Thank you. Oh, yes. There is one thing I'd like to bring up under capital outlay. We've got the sports complex project listed at 25, but you still have it under LUC design. I'd like to change that over to the RFQ when we get to that point. Okay? So that's one thing.
Yeah. Yes, I do. So under the category, it's probably digital advertising and marketing. It has $30,000. It's the same in the amended budget. And the notes, it says website maintenance, etc. So I'm thinking that's either the most expensive website ever or etc. means something. And so I was kind of curious, what does et cetera mean here? How much is left that hasn't not yet been spent? And I'm not really sure that we need marketing. So I just was kind of curious.
Go ahead, Angela. Yeah. So, yes, our website is coming up for renewal. That's $20,000 of that. Yes. It is GovCast, CivCast? Golden Shovel. And then there are some photos and those kinds of things that we contract out. So the website is looking fresh and recent pictures are on the site.
Okay, well then, that
Is
is,
$20,000 a lot for a website?
yes, it's extremely excessive.
Well, if we go to, and I'm not sure what page I'm on here, in the budget detail, it was $2,500 for the month in all of the marketing. All marketing and advertising was $2,581.52 for a month.
Yeah.
That's some portion of it. So, and I guess what I'm wondering, kind of the same thing as you, is there a contract that there's a monthly fee, and is it the same amount, or is it based on if you guys send them updated stuff and ask them to update things?
No, it's a simple annual renewal, and there's, I believe, 4 components to it. I just received their invoice last week, in fact, and they itemized it in case Sylvia and I, we talked and decided we wanted to get rid of some of those components. But one of them is they do a property aggregator, which is pretty much standard for any EDC website. And the first website we had, I spent a very large portion of the day uploading those properties myself. So having an aggregator that goes out and finds all of them and puts them out there is super helpful.
Well, the March actual was $2,500, so is that about average or above average, below average?
Edie, don't they just take it and stretch it out? Oh, they take the one payment and divide it by 12.
So that's what we're asking.
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
$2,500?
Yes, they've never charged me anything extra. All the stories they write for me come with the website payment.
Do we have on the technology MLK infrastructure, we were started at 2 million, we're down to 1.23. Can you tell me, do we have a contract or do we have a proposal on that? So have we reviewed it?
The 1.2 that's listed in there is the cost that's in your packet that was provided for the Accutronic. There's option 1 and option 2. Option 1 goes through and option 2 goes around. They're both in your packet. Let me see if I can find the page. It's related to the Accutronic site. Let's see. Uh, 3D. It is on page 27 of your packet. So in my report, I explain, we put a 20% contingency on these numbers. This was internal staff. This was a very back of the envelope number. So in the report, we gave it another 20%. So 1.2 may be high.
Yeah, you've got 1 million in there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, actually, with your 20%, it's at 1,025,000.
1,025,000, yes. And then I added an additional 20% to that because we're in such unknown territory.
So you have 20% on top?
Yes. Mhm. Yes. This was internal staff who worked up this rough estimate based on the MOCA and the financial way. And then these utility improvements that are listed here, this is water, wastewater. We still have to run fiber and electric.
If you don't mind, what is the length of the road, the actual pavement? Is that,
It's 1,240 linear feet in, square yards, 4,500 square
oh,
yards.
square yards, okay. So in linear feet, what are we talking about?
Divide that by 9, 4,500 divided by 9.
No, that's going to be 500 feet. Okay. And is that what they are asking for, or is that what we are proposing?
That is based on preliminary site review with some layout conditions. That's based on working with their design professionals. No site has been sort of pinned on the ground. They haven't submitted a complete site development permit. And again, these prices don't include electric or fiber.
But you can't divide by 9 and get the linear feet.
Because that just tells you
Divide by 9 gets to
square feet.
So what's the width of the road?
That's even a better question.
The width of the road.
What he's really trying to get you is how many linear feet of the road are we talking about?
Right.
Which I would divide by, the curb and gutter is the easier way to do it, and I would assume it's 150 since it's 300 total. And I would assume there's curb and gutter on both sides.
It would have been the same width for
Okay. Okay, and this is something that we had in our original contract with them, as this kind of road versus the construction type of cobble or whatever you want to call it. Okay, thank you. All right. So I'm sorry, another question on that. When are we going to let that contract? Have we sent it out for bid yet? And if so, okay.
Not at all. It's dependent on today's executive.
Yeah, we got to put that in.
Okay, that's right. Okay, thank you. I guess we need a motion to approve this.
Yes.
First of all, do we have any further questions from the director? Entertain a motion.
Chair Spencer, before that, there's a resolution to change it because it needs to go to city council to be changed ultimately. Our budget has to go before city council when it's changed. Also, there has been one change. Charlie didn't catch it when I sent it to him, but I did today when I went to stick it with the signature. Your signature block was still wrong, so I updated it today. His signature where he signs. He's got 2 more partners that he didn't used to have. So that's been the only change to the resolution from what's in your packet, is I corrected it. You need to pass that resolution. Yes, sir. Thank you.
I guess we need a motion to approve the resolution, R2024-0002.
Motion to approve R2024-002.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Very good, the motion carries. All right, now we can move on to the motion to amend the budget.
That was it. The resolution amends the budget. But we can go back to the financial report.
If there's no further questions on that, then we're going to move back to 3B, receive financial report for the period ending March 2024.
Board, you can see that we have kind of changed the financial summary a little bit to give you a little bit more useful information. This report includes the current budget and the amended budget as you just passed, and then year-to-date actual numbers. And you can see the budget remaining, with the remaining percentage, our sales tax revenues are doing well, actually, and we'll see that in a couple of slides. But everything else is, as far as revenues go, is in line with where it should be. And our expenses are kind of low, but as we do have some expenses that we pay large invoices we'll be paying over the next 6 months, and so some of this will even out as the year goes on.
Before you go any further, there was a question from Board Member Schrader about our interest income. So the current budget was 250, but year-to-date actual is 317?
Yes, we are doing well with interest this year. Interest is up, and I did not budget this $250,000 amount, so.
Well, year-to-date too is up by.
I'll look into that, and if we do, then I will bring it to you. The interest rate is up, and I think it's up more than what they had anticipated, so that is a very likely possibility. And I also have the month ending March 31st, 2024. We are showing the March projected numbers with the actual. Because the budget amendment is effective after March 31st, it's effective today, then I included original projected numbers. You can see that sales tax was lower than projected. Again, I'll talk about that on the next slide. Our sales tax numbers are strong for the year. March actual expenses are less than projected. Some of the decrease in spending is directly correlated, like I said, with having fewer staff members. There's just less money spent on travel and supplies and maintenance and items such as that. Contractual services is down because there are no new projects going on, so our engineering costs we're not spending money on engineering, and we're not spending some money on some projects that we will be spending as some of the things get moving. Okay, so here are sales tax numbers through the 6 months ended March 31st. Like I said, we were below projection, but we are still over prior year collections by 1%. And we have collected 5.4% more as of March 31st, 24 than March 31st, 2023. I know that there had been some questions about some of this money being restricted for these projects and these things that we had, so I included a fund balance statement here. We have undesignated funds of a little over $8 million. There are two amounts. One is designated operating, the other one is contributed capital, and I was doing some digging trying to figure out exactly what these are, but all the way back to September 2011, they have just been in there. My assumption is that the contributed capital was the startup for the BEDC. And then all of the Fiesta, AEI, MOCA, and technical adhesives, those were all in the list of items that one of you had asked if we had restricted, and we do. Our next slide shows our capital outlay projects. The first one is Financial Way, and you can see we have started expending that money. It is almost complete, and we have gotten some more bills in for April that you will see next month. But I added Accutronic here for the amount that was just approved to get the site shovel ready, and the sports complex project.
as of March 31st, so is that correct? Because would be in the
Because
past.
it's April.
It's April, yeah. Well, okay, all right.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
I mean, I'm just reading the headline, and the header, it's as of March 31st, and it's
Correct.
actually not.
They closed out the previous month on the 10th, so we were pretty lucky to get this in the packet.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't think that's the question, Angela.
Okay,
He's
I'm
saying
misunderstanding.
We just approved the Accutronic project on April 15th.
Oh.
How is it listed as being on, as of March 31st?
That's a good
my
point.
mistake.
Okay. It's not that big of a deal. I just am going, if somebody else read this, they'd go, I don't think so. Okay, thank you. All right, well, thank you very much. All right. Okay, we're going to skip 3D until we get finished with our executive session, so we will then move on to 3E, receive update on BEDC funding commitments.
Okay, so I'm just going to go over the things that have changed since the last time you guys saw it. Super glue, which is, I don't know why, I think I left off a column. That's technical adhesives, and they are predicting that they'll be ready by August for inspection. So they are moving really well. In the next couple of slides, I'm going to show you some pics. Fiesta, we're meeting with them tomorrow, in fact, because the plans they turned in were confusing. Swipe is Mocha. We all know the status of that. I think it's on for executive session, if I'm not mistaken. Triple Arrow is Accutronic. Y'all are going to be discussing that in executive session as well. They're asking for some variances to the restrictive covenants and some memorialization of some the things that are related to the road that y'all just discussed a while ago. They're working on their conceptual site plan, and we've hooked them up with the people at the planning department that they need to talk to get the answers they need. Financial way is complete, but missing a couple of things, so they're still working on it. Jackson I just added BEDC ended the agreement and just left it at that. Sylvia told me that the project engineering on Blakey is 30%. And of course, the city water funding, the fiber. The fiber, they're telling me it's gone up this year, and I'm working with Jaime at IT to fight that because I don't think that that's legit. So we're working on it, but I just wanted to make you guys aware of it. And then the last one is Bearded Baker, and he has been making his monthly payments as he's supposed to. Here are the pictures of what's going on at Technical Adhesives. Do any of you have any questions about the updates?
Any questions?
Do you have anything?
What was Bearded Bakery? Because I didn't see that one on.
Well, okay, that was a revolving loan fund that he received in the amount of $10,000.
Okay.
And he's receiving a reduced rate. Most banks won't loan it.
It's titled NA under the project name. It's the very last
Well,
one.
because I left off a column.
Yeah,
You would have
I
seen
don't see
Bearded
it on
Baker,
there.
but I
Yeah,
hadn't done
it's not
that.
on there. Okay.
That was completely my fault.
No
It's all right.
problem. Thank you.
On the financial way, it says project completed, but missing street signs and manhole lids, or correct street signs anyway. But it doesn't talk about the plan to resolve that.
So the manhole lids have a longer lead time. They came, but they did not have the City of Bastrop logo on them, and the street signs also that they put up did not have the City of Bastrop logo on them. So those have been returned. The street signs, a couple of weeks, the manhole lids, several weeks for the correct ones to arrive.
Along with that, does that mean we're pushing out the complete?
Yes.
The letter of
project-
completion?
The project needs to be accepted by the city, and it's not
Okay,
accepted.
and whose responsibility was that for ordering the wrong signs and the wrong manholes?
The contractor.
Okay, so is there any way for them to expedite that so we can complete what we need to complete?
I sent them that request today when they submitted a pay app.
Because that does impact what we're trying to accomplish on, on getting the
Yes.
half of the money back. Okay, thank you. Okay, if there's no further questions on or comment on that one, we're going to go ahead and go into executive session. 4.A, the Bastrop EDC Board of Directors will meet in a closed executive session pursuant to the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, to discuss the following. Number 1, Section 551.071, consultation with attorney regarding performance agreement with Moga Ventures. Number 2, Section 551.071, consultation with attorney regarding performance agreement and purchase contract with Accutronic Real Estate, Inc., and the time is now 5:32.
Let's go ahead and include economic development for Accutron as well, just in case.
Say that one more time, please.
Include going in for economic development for the Accutron real estate one.
Oh, yes. Okay, we're going to go ahead and include economic development for the Part 2 of Accutronics Real Estate. And the time now is 5:33. Okay, let's see here. All right, it is now 6:27 on Monday, April the 15th, and the Bastrop EDC Board of Directors will reconvene into open session to discuss, consider, and/or take any action necessary related to the executive session noted herein. There is no action to be taken. We will now go back into Section 3D, consideration and possible action on approving an amendment to the real estate purchase contract with Accutronics. Right? Yeah. So I think what they wanted to do is to extend, go ahead.
It's a 30-day extension of their feasibility/inspection period. I believe it's called an inspection period, but it's essentially a feasibility period.
What are the pros and cons of us extending it or not extending it?
It gives the developer an opportunity to cross some Ts and dot some Is before full commitment, and it's an opportunity for both of us, if something is found in that feasibility period that is not agreeable, either work to amend any kind of contract we have together, or an opportunity for a developer to decide this may not be the appropriate site.
Any questions on this topic?
Move to approve the extension.
All right, all those in favor for the approval of the extension, say aye. Aye. All those disapprove? All right, the motion carries. Very good. All right, well, that being the end of it, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you.